So at least she's consistent. She does kind of obviously have a level of disdain inside of her for children, which is really weird because she's a pediatrician. But apparently, she's uh, now in a load of trouble, and is also a a person who is employed at a hospital there. And so here's what the Bluefish. This is also Memorial Hermann. So she's got Bluefish Pediatrics, which basically said we do not support or condone any statements, any statement that politicizes tragedy, diminishes human dignity. Then the hospital she works at, they have not fired her yet, but this is what they say. We are aware of statements made by a physician on social media and strongly condemn these statements. This provider is not employed by Memorial Hermann. We have zero tolerance for such rhetoric, which does not reflect the mission, vision, or values of our system. So she apparently she wasn't really employed, but she was a provider at the hospital, depending on what people needed. And so she's obviously at that point lost that position. So I'm telling you, I know there obviously is a God, and it's great to see these people who are so damn mean and so nasty, and they can't hide it. I'm trying to think, I know I wouldn't do that, but have you ever, have you ever known anybody from our realm in terms of the kind of hatred that comes out in the wake of devastations? I mean, even when the wildfires were happening, I saw somebody on Facebook kind of insinuate somehow that conservatives were being mean to liberals because of the wildfires. And man, I don't recall in any way, shape, or form ever saying, well, see what you get when you support Gavin Newsom, or see what you get when you elect Karen Bass. It was never that way. I mean, I don't know. Were there other conservative commentators who said that? Maybe. I mean, I think to a certain degree, there might have been some people who were a little less in a state of mourning over that, but I really don't know. But I just know that I wasn't among them, and I don't remember hearing anybody, at least on this radio station, doing that kind of nonsense where we just were politicizing the wildfires. Now, obviously, in reaction to them, there was a level of indignance. I mean, there was, of course, Gavin Newsom hanging out at wineries and enjoying himself during the wildfires, and that's not politicizing it. That's just his right there. The closest I think that some have come, and I've been on the record as kind of saying we shouldn't traffic in this kind of discussion, because you notice every time, sometimes recently, like with the plane crash in DC and all this other stuff, whenever there's somebody who's a minority or a woman or whatever involved in it, we always reflexively say must be a DEI hire. Well, as I've pointed out before, there are plenty of like white people who have made mistakes, you know what I'm saying, throughout history. And it's not just because you happen to be, and we always think, well, because they're black and they're a pilot, it must be a DEI hire. That's really not true. So, I mean, maybe this is another reminder that we ought to be chill about stuff like that instead of reflexively sometimes commenting. That's the closest I can see where we're at DEI. And then, of course, you had that really racist woman from Houston, a black woman, who made this all about white kids and how, you know, we're being asked to go and rescue them and do all this kind of stuff for them, and you know, here we are, and I don't even want to do that.
I have a big problem with that. Once again, this is no shade to the girls. I hope they all get found. But once again, y'all have to understand the climate that we're living in. They want you to have sympathy for these people. They want you to get out of your bed and to come out of your home and to go find these people and to donate your money to go find these people. Meanwhile, they are deporting your family members.
Yeah. So a 10-year-old, and she was really, I mean, some of it's so vile, I can't even play it for you. So a 10-year-old girl at Camp Mystic is deporting people. Come on. That's really, that was rock bottom. And of course she was, I mean, I don't even know how you get titles like that, but she was, had a variety of different titles, and she was part of a, like a, on the food insecurity board. They couldn't figure out, like, she couldn't get fired from anything because she didn't have anything legitimate that she was doing. So they figured, well, at least we can kick her off the food insecurity board. What are you going to do to be kicked off the food insecurity board, for crying out loud? You're going to be, something's going to be really bad for you to be taken off the, whatever that is, whatever the food insecurity board is. That's the bottom line. Somebody. Al Green. At least he's still alive. So that's the good news that you're being brought at this tail end of the Allman Report, Common Sense Radio, a 3 martini lunch. Ashlyn, thank you so much for your help here. And you guys know what's coming up next. The great Tony Colombo and Colombo and Company. Have a great, wonderful, amazing rest of your day.
Attention all gun enthusiasts. Don't miss the big Franklin County Gun Show happening July 11th through 13th at Washington, Missouri's Elks Lodge. With over 450 tables of pistols, handguns, rifles, long guns, shotguns, ammo, and more. The fun starts Friday, July 11th at 4 and continues all weekend.